A very good morning to all of you watching in Uganda and around the world. Welcome to NBS Media Roundtable. My name is Kanari Mugume, and today on the show we take a deep dive into the election on from the neighbors, and the Tanzanian election has turned out to be quite an interesting one. For long, Tanzania has been quite the quiet political actor in the East African region. But what's happening now has proven to be that maybe the president there, Samia, has also maybe made decisions that have not turned out to be quite popular. Tanzanians are on street protesting, and well, they say that perhaps the former president, that's Magufuli's legacy, still reigns on, of a very strong hand. What exactly is going to determine the election in Tanzania? We'll also get back on here on the Ugandan election. What exactly is shaping the campaigns? Populism seems to have taken over. What is the voter really looking out for? And that's the question we're asking this morning. Now, the hashtag, if you are watching the show, is hashtag NBS Media Roundtable. And allow me to introduce my panel of experienced journalists. Alex Ateide, not a stranger on the Media Roundtable. Good to have you on the show.
Thank you, Kanare, and good morning, all the viewers out there. I'm always happy to be here.
Obed Katudebe, always good to have you on the NBS Media Roundtable.
Oh, thank you, Kanare, and good morning, viewers and listeners.
Yes, and of course, Richard Baguma, always a pleasure having you on the NBS Media Roundtable.
I start with God, as always. I thank God for enabling us to come and to be here before our viewers. We thank the viewers for patronizing us. Canada, I was telling you that there was somebody whose initials were CCM, Charles Kanare Mugume now, but he was just Charles Kanare Mugisha. So I don't know if you have CCM-ish behaviors now that we are talking about the Tanzanian election. But sure. Thank you for bringing Obed, who is resurrecting back onto the circuit of these shows. He had gone underground a bit.
Yeah. No, let's begin from our neighbors in Tanzania. It's even hard to follow that election because one, it's reported in Swahili, but also two, the internet has been switched off, and three, there are no international media houses that have been accredited to cover the election. It's very hard to follow that election. But from the few snippets you've seen on social media, what do you make of it, the Tanzanian election?
I have an experience working for the Nation Media Group. I have an experience of how Tanzania things shape. But this particular election in Tanzania it's not surprising for me because, Tanzania is dominated by the ruling party, Chama cha Mapinduzi, having a strange hold on how things run in the country. And Chama cha Mapinduzi has been so strong that the opposition has always been kind of squeezed. But every election cycle, it's always clear that a Chama cha Mapinduzi candidate is going to win. But this one has particularly been very strange because all the rivals to the CCM candidate are in jail. And I am not surprised that it was going always to be counterproductive because now you see there has been uprising, one because of things that happened in the run-up to the election, suppressing everybody. And number two is that if you try to muzzle voices all the time, there's always going to be a tipping point. And I think this election has kind of escalated the tipping point for Tanzania. And as things are now, I never get worried that a Chama cha Mapinduzi or a candidate or a president in Tanzania, who will always be a Chama cha Mapinduzi candidate, will be very strong managing things. But now I'm actually worried whether our good lady, the president, is going to hold this.
Could her decisions have led to this?
Of course.
On social media, she's been called Idi Amin Samia.
Because you see...
Idi Amin Mama.
Yeah, because it has never happened before that in the run-up to the election, then while the Chama cha Mapinduzi has been very, very emphatic and very strong in dominating and making sure that the opposition does not get any space, but has never happened in this style. This style is bravado. It is very, very repressive. Like anybody who speaks, you get jailed. You remember recently some activists from Uganda and Kenya tried to go there and support, and you know what happened. So it has never happened in this style, and it was always going to be counterproductive. And I think it is a tipping point now, because you know the demonstrations have spread across the country, and I don't know how the security forces in Tanzania will manage this.
Obed, how are you looking at this election in Tanzania? Do you think that maybe the people in Tanzania had reached a tipping point to say enough is enough, and they were waiting for this moment?
Well, I'll beg to differ with what most people are insinuating, where they are accusing the current president of being high-handed and probably being really tough on some members of the opposition. In as much as that could be true, that she's been tough, especially the main opposition man, Tindu, is it called Tindu something? Tindu Lusu. But what is happening right now seems to be the trend of what comes after an electoral contest, especially in the developing countries. In as much as you say CCM is hard on opposition, it has put some opposition members in prison and stuff like that. But anyway, if we were to use some other case study of a neighboring Kenya, who didn't put any member of the opposition into jail, who allowed every space for a political actor to campaign, what was the behavior of citizens, especially after the announcing of the winner? I mean, Ruto is announced as the winner. The ground had been fair to every player, but again, we saw similar actions like we are seeing today in Tanzania. Riots, you know, the so-called Gen Z movements that put Kenya on tension immediately after elections. My thinking is it's becoming a trend for young people not to accept results that come after an election. It's obvious, even if Tindu had been allowed to campaign, given all the liberties probably that with him were denied to him, CCM was going to win. CCM is such a dominant party, it's big, it's massive. Maybe.
But if it's dominant and massive and has all this support base nationwide, why do they have to imprison opposition figures?
I'm tempted to think.
In fact, Ndulusu was freed the other day, and he decided he will stay in jail until the day after the election.
Yeah, I saw that. Well, I'm tempted to think probably we might be making harsh judgments against Suluhu, because when she becomes president, after the days of Magufuli, she allows space for all these political actors. Tindu, I think, was in prison. He's released and given his space. Then maybe his behavior, his actions could have caused the reversal of what had been guaranteed to him. But my biggest, and this is a fallacy that also tend to, to dominate us, the elites, about the post-election, even pre-election security management. Was she ready for this one? Didn't she expect such kind of reactions? Why were there not measures to, to prevail over such kind of situation we are seeing today? I was reading last night that finally the army has been brought on board to contain the situation. It's sad for Tanzania. It's not good for a country like Tanzania that has been defined by peace for all this time. I mean, currently what I'm trying to say is that it's becoming a trend or especially in Africa, even when or where elections are believed to be fair and free, the losers inciting the young men to go on streets and then burn tires and cause this confusion we're seeing. It's a trend. It's a trend.